Hello, lovelies. It's T here from What Is Good Tarot, and I'm here to bring you another channeled message. I hope this one is finding you blessed and full of abundance as always. So I was receiving a download that we are, I said, okay, that we are as a collective working through some kind of issue. Let me say, if you are in the collective that's going to resonate to this message, that you're working through some kind of possible karma or possible block energy, something around a work situation. I was getting like a karmic work situation, a feminine energy. So you might have a karmic feminine energy that you work with, or you might have a block in your own personal feminine energy in regards to career or work. Finances, maybe like tying in like financial stability to your career or something like that. There's something here about like your emotions running high and you spending some time working through your fears. I do feel like that you are going to have a transformation in this energy, that you are transforming. So you might want to check your natal chart. You might have some interesting transits happening right now. But I say, ooh, yes. But I see this, the Fool card. Someone here is going to be offered some kind of brand new beginning. You could have a job offer or getting some kind of letter or something, some kind of offer of a contract coming in. Something here is about your justice. You're about receiving justice. Something that's going to happen, events that are going to be unfolding in the next, few weeks is what I'm hearing for most of you. That from whenever you watch this, because it's a timeless reading, whenever you watch this, you're going to be headed towards stability as well as emotional stability. Like there's something tied in hand with financial and emotional stability. I mean, definitely, I know when you feel financially stable, it's definitely easier to work on your emotions and to feel, to get out of that kind of like survival mode kind of energy, right? And here, like when I put these two cards side by side, see how the kind of imagery kind of lines up here, where we have like the folds of the curtain turning into these kind of like vines right here. And then we have the purple of the grapes that match up with the purple of these drapes here that is behind the justice. There's definitely some symbolism there. I think that some of you too are being guided to spend more time outside as well. There's something about law, because I see her, she has this book right here that says law on it, right? So there's something about, for some of you, it's like the laws of the universe. We also have, right, the purple color here with the Scorpio, with this new moon in Scorpio, work through your fears card, as well as the purple here and the hold your vision card. Queen of Swords in reverse. That's that person. This is that karmic work situation here. So this is with somebody, this is about somebody having some kind of karmic work situation here, whether that be something inside of yourself or whether or not it has actually manifested into a karmic person that could be a representation of some kind of wounding or some kind of blockage that you have here in alignment. But they're here in the center of your spread, though, is the Fool card, is taking this leap of faith towards your stability. There's also something here about like watching your words and watching like what you're speaking into existence as well. Hold your vision firm. Hold like a positive vision, firmly in your future. There's something here too about talking more like words of respect to yourself. Your hard work is paying off. Exactly, with this justice. You've done something here. Something like is karmically coming back to you. Like it's coming back around for something that you did. And it's in a positive way because it's like your hard work is paying off. You've been working really hard towards something. And it's coming back around and it's flowing in and showing up. Like your fruits are bearing. Like this justice energy is going to show up here in your, like in the fruits that you bear. And the quality of like the product or the quality of something that, your spirit is asking you to take a leap of faith here into creating something, so what they're showing me a person like standing barefoot like on a bank and I see them jumping 2 feet in, splash, like into water. So with it being like this water, it could be this kind of like emotional energy, like, right, you jumping in to emotional stability to find your financial stability. Because could be something here around some kind of emotional irregularity, or like, again, like I said, being in survival mode or being in like defensive mode, or you could be in a very like judgmental energy, or you could have now whether that be towards yourself, or maybe you're just being a little bit nitpicky of like yourself or other people around you, right? This is all on a scale. So it's like paying attention to the energies that are coming up to the surface, because they're telling you something deeper about something that needs to be addressed or something that really needs to be looked at. I'm hearing full moon. Conclusions are within reach. I'm hearing this emotional journey is coming to an end. So whatever you're working on right now, whatever emotions you're trying to work your way through right now, your cycle with this is coming to an end. The energy is gaining momentum, and the energy is gaining momentum. Whatever you've been putting a lot of work into, whatever you've been putting your drive and your focus into, is about to karmically give back to you. And I was asking, and I asked my mind, spirit, what have they been putting into this? Like, what have they been putting into this? And it's both the Cancer cards came out. So both the new moon, you and your loved ones are safe, and a personal issue reaches resolution. So this could be some kind of family issue that you're bringing to an end with this Cancer energy coming. And with this here, this new moon in Leo, confidence is key to your success here on the back. It's giving me like you're doing it, like you are healing, you are doing it, you are working through these emotions, like believe in yourself. Exactly, you are healing, and you're about to have an opportunity to really to take action and to speak your mind, and to manifest something better for yourself into being into a place. You're manifesting and speaking yourself into a much more emotionally, as well as I really feel like mostly they want to concentrate on the emotions that you're going through. They don't want you to concentrate as much on like the 3D, and they want you to concentrate more on like the emotional work that you're doing right now. Or maybe that's what you've been doing. But it's about to turn into with that Aries, it's about to shift over into masculine energy. Yeah, and there's Sagittarius, more fire. A lot of fire energy. Look at the bigger picture with the Sagittarius, full moon in Sagittarius. Yeah, so I'm hearing key, like you're about to receive like a key piece to some kind of emotional work, or some kind of, maybe if you've been trying to do some kind of root work, or you've been trying to do some kind of emotional unblocking, or you've been trying to do some kind of like working through emotions from trauma, or from your childhood, or from just your past, or past relationships, or past work environments that you've had. If you've been trying to kind of work through those emotions and release and allow those to be let go, so that you can manifest in something new. It's kind of like clearing out the slate. Yeah, like letting the tower completely fall, and like, allowing the dust to settle. And when this dust settles, there's going to be a possibility to build a much better foundation here for yourself. A fiery climax approaches, exactly, right? When the tower finally burns down, and it's burned all the way down to the foundation. That's what they're kind of giving me. They're giving me almost like they're showing me the tower, and they're showing me the lightning bolt coming down to the top of the tower, but then they show me the tower burning down really slow, almost like a candle. So it's almost like, so in that they're telling me whatever has been falling apart has been a manifestation that you've been wishing for. You just might not have seen it as a direct manifestation, but the emotional work that you have, whatever this event, this experience that you've been going through, it has been slowly working emotionally through your wounding, right? In a way that you could be very, very conscious of, or you could be a little less, You know, it could be a little bit more subconscious. You could be putting those pieces together like, through all of this, everything, through these experiences, I see the karmic lesson in me. I see how this is marrying my trauma, and I see how this is asking me to look deeper inside of myself, and it's marrying back a wound that I really need, you know, something that I need to speak on, or something that I need to make. Because there's so much energy in my throat chakra. It feels just like, whew. It's intense. It's really, really intense. That's why I'm speaking so fast, because I'm just like, it's like almost backed up. I don't know if it's something where you feel like you've been holding your tongue, or you just haven't been speaking your mind. There's something here about that too. But there's something about the sun coming out and shining a very bright light, and you getting this kind of with this, on something that's been keeping secret, or something that you've been holding, or something you've been biting your tongue, or something you have been neglectful to, neglectful. I was trying to say, and then almost resentful came up. Whoa. Neglectful or resentful. Maybe perhaps you feel resentful about a situation that you feel like you were very neglected or abandoned in. And reluctant is the word that I kept trying to say, but all these other words were coming out. Right? Maybe you do have a lot of resentment towards something that happened, some kind of abandonment wound or something that you have, but also simultaneously at the same time, perhaps there's a level of perhaps feeling resentful, or feeling that self-judgment of like, why did you never speak up? Why did you never say anything toward yourself? Why do you always, stay silent when you want to say something like that could be coming up to the surface, because it's giving me like a light is shining really brightly on something that you has kept secret, or something that has been just happening more in your mind or in your spirit. And there is this moment here of oh my gosh, there is this moment here of Ace of Swords, Ace of Swording, something that you have been keeping locked up inside with this Four of Pentacles here, right? It's finally having that conversation, finally having that moment where you're like, I'm not going to be silent anymore. Like, I'm going to tell you how I really feel. Spirit could be guiding you to be careful with your words that you choose to use. This resentment could have you having a sharper tongue than would be the most productive to have in this situation. Yeah, there's something here about something coming, like shooting out, bursting forth. But I am getting more of kind of like Spirit is encouraging you to seek those activities that give you emotional regulation. So definitely I'm seeing here that Spirit is saying transmute this feeling through something. Perhaps through making music, through singing, through dancing, through something creative, something that you're creating, it could be writing or drawing or painting or whatever, something creative that where you create something based on, it's like, get this energy out of you, get this Three of Swords energy out of you, speak your mind through that, because maybe for some of you, you feel like the person that caused you the issue, maybe perhaps you don't talk to that person anymore. Maybe perhaps you cannot talk to that person anymore. Maybe you have cut contact, or they've cut contact with you, or you don't have an opportunity. Maybe you don't have their number. Maybe you don't know where they live. Maybe perhaps they have passed on and you don't have the opportunity to have them face to face and say, to speak your mind and say what you need to say. Maybe for some of you, it would be very transformational to write a letter out to this person, to get out everything that you need to say, and just say it, and, say however you need to get it out, and just release it, and then maybe go burn it and let it go, release it and let it go, and just get it off your chest, get it out of you, right? Because I'm hearing like this festering. Like, don't allow it to sit inside your heart space and fester. Don't allow it to like infect you, almost, is what Spirit is saying. So you might have this feeling of emotional dysregulation because, remember your tools, right? Remember the tools that you've been taught, how to regulate your emotions, how to find, not to just be like, I'm calm, I'm fine, and not suppress it, but release it in healthy ways, right? Take it to the gym, go for a run, go for a walk, play a sport. Get it out, channel it physically into physically doing something or saying something or acting out something, work through it. Work through it in some kind of positive way and burn it away from you is what Spirit is saying. And Spirit is giving you this opportunity to have a very big lesson in, if you take this opportunity of what this experience is and work through your fears of expressing yourself, showing yourself for who you really are, not manifesting in this kind of energy right here, this kind of like, I don't want to show up like people showed up for me in the past, or maybe perhaps you felt neglected because this is the energy that you were given, and now here you are almost manifesting this energy within yourself up to the surface, and Spirit is saying, do better. Do better than the people that neglected you. Do better. Choose to do better for yourself, right? Don't allow it to plant a seed of resentment or hate inside of you. Work it out. If it's a situation where you can actually calmly sit down and talk to this person, and they're a person that you want to sit down and calmly work it through, and this person is actually emotionally capable of having a productive, calm, talk with you, and then do that. Don't stew on something. Like, speak it out. Talk about it. If this person, you either can't talk to this person, or this person would not be emotionally or, open to having that conversation and have it be an actual productive conversation. Again, like I said before, write it out. Take it to the gym. Get it out of you. Get it out of you. Don't let it just sit inside of you, is what Spirit is saying. Transmute it and turn it into something positive for yourself. Oh, I'm so mad. I'm going to work out and have like the best workout. Oh, I'm mad. I'm going to just furiously write out a letter. Just say everything I feel like I need to say. Not judge myself for what I say. Just get it out. Just say whatever I need to say. And just be like, wow, I feel so much better because I just said what I felt like I needed to say. But I knew that some of the things that I needed to say wouldn't be productive. Maybe it wouldn't be productive. Maybe it would be a little harsh. Maybe it would be a little rude, or it would be a little inappropriate for you to say. Write it out in a letter. Take that letter, burn it. Burn it, release it, let it go. Transmute it into some kind of, transmute it into some kind of thematic work that you can explore, right? Okay, so I'm working, like, emotionally right now, I'm working through the themes of neglect, resentment, abandonment, wounding, whatever it is that you're working through, right? And you're like, okay, let me make something about that. How do I feel about that? What do I feel like I've always wanted to be able to say but couldn't say? Let me put it out in a work of art, or let me put it out in a song, or let me put it out in a, and it doesn't have to be something that you're going to share with the world or share with anybody, but it's about you. Don't worry about whether or not how it's going to look or how it would be received or how it would, make anybody else feel. Just worry about you. Just get it out, get it out there. And transmute it out. And I'm working through so much energy through my throat chakra right now. Oh my gosh. This is about you finding a way to find emotional stability through something that you're experiencing. But whatever it is about to come to a head. Right? Whatever it is that you're experiencing. And Spirit is encouraging you to do this so that, maybe you should journal about it. That way that you can get out some of maybe like the ruder or more inappropriate things. And you have an opportunity to be like, okay, like if I did sit down and say this to this person, talk about this with this person, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say this, maybe it would be nicer, or it would be more productive to frame it in this way, or talk about it this way, and to not just have like my first, like, well, how I really feel, this. And it's like, okay, I've said that, I've got it out. And now I can see, it was a little petty, or it was a little this, a little that. That's not the most, there's something here about, if it comes to a head in a way where you're going to have like a discussion about it, let it be a discussion and not an argument. So find the way to transmute it. Right? Because there's this kind of like anger that's building up inside of you that you're kind of just like suppressing. or this resentment or this energy right here. You're repressing this, right? And you're and this anger, I really feel like, or whatever this is, this emotion, I keep saying anger because that's what it keeps feeling like. It keeps feeling like anger or resentment or this kind of just like, yeah, I'm hearing somebody say, oh my God, it's so fucked up. Why? Stop treating me this way. Like, why? I shouldn't have to deal with this shit. Like, stop treating me this way. I'm hearing somebody say, why are you this way? Why do you act this way? Why do you talk to me that way? Or why do you act that way towards me? Like, why? And it's that kind of energy. It's just like, I try to keep the peace, or I try not to rock the boat, or I try not to, I try not to be tempted into lowering myself or saying little petty things, or, it's kind of like those like microaggressions, or maybe if somebody's they make very passive aggressive comments or something like that, and you're just like, and it's kind of just like, stop letting it build up and build up and build up, because you might say something that could come off as very unprofessional. You might say something, you might even be mad about something else and then have it burst out of you towards somebody else that has nothing to do with what you're actually mad about. So this is a really good opportunity to learn to really put those tools of learning to have that emotional regulation, right? Yeah, there's like this masculine energy here. Again, like I said, that there's this incoming fiery approaching of this masculine kind of fiery energy, and out comes the emperor, right? There's this kind of like this masculine energy coming out, and it could be a more kind of like self-protective kind of, just like, you're not going to push me, you're not going to test me, like, why you keep testing me like that? I don't know why. It's something like that, where it's like you're more masculine, defensive, kind of like, I'll pull out that sword kind of energy. Exactly. And here you are, come on now, and here you are with that sword like drawn, like, you know what, actually, if I'm going to need to read a bitch, let me sit down, because I got a whole fucking book that I can say about you and your bullshit, So be careful with that. Be careful with the words that you speak, especially right now, because it's almost the end of Mercury retrograde. But maybe, and perhaps for some of you, as I'm filming this, it's almost the end of Mercury retrograde. It's the 23rd today as I'm filming this, and I think it's the 27th of August that Mercury retrograde is supposed to end. And so we're pulling out right here to the very, very end. So, this could be about something that's already happened. For some of you, could be like, why does this person get on my nerves? Why do I feel like this person is triggering some kind of subconscious emotions that you really, maybe perhaps mostly, have been trying to ignore? But there's this feeling of relief, right? Of kind of just like, it's like this big burst of a relief. And I feel like you're manifesting this, and this is going to happen. I mean, I don't know, maybe for some of you got that itch, and you're just like, I'm on the edge, and I need to be, stroked. You know what I'm saying? Like, some of you, I don't know, maybe some of y'all will find some kind of relief in that kind of way. Oh my gosh. My dog just came up to me and literally just got my whole entire side just wet. The timing of that, though, is kind of crazy. I was just like, hey. And then she apparently had just got through drinking a bunch of water, and she just literally got my whole entire side wet. Lovely. The joys of being a dog mom, or whatever, being a dog owner, whatever you want to call it. Whew. Anyway, it'll dry, it's fine. I don't know. Like, I was just talking about that, and I was like, maybe some of y'all, Miss Ma'am, do not come and get my other side wet. Excuse me, no. Step back, mommies. And she was. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe for some of y'all, it's something like that, where you're just like, I need some relief. I need to like get it off my chest or something. I don't know. Transmute this energy. That's not going to be for everybody. That's just, if it's for you, it's for you, right? But there is this kind of incoming like masculine energy here, whether that be from an exterior source or whether not that be from something within yourself, being just like, I'm about to pop off, or I'm about to say something, or I'm about to have something to say about all of this. I'm about to, and then there's something here about having like this amazing relief afterwards. Yeah, anyway, it's about please choose the more healthy option, right? Choose the more healthy, transformative option. That's what I'm getting here with all of this fire energy, is like transmuting, transforming. Not buckling it up inside exactly and having this 5 of Wands spilling over, like I just talked about, right? Not having this spilling over, fighting, bickering back and forth, but just being like, you know, Wheel of Fortune. Because there's an opportunity coming up here. There's an opportunity coming forward for you. Hold on just 1 second. Okay. Yeah, there's a really... Oh, this energy feels so much better. Yeah, and whatever this opportunity is, whatever this, it's this kind of 8 of Wands. Because this 8 of Wands for me always feels so chaotic. Like, look at her. Look how chaotic she looks. Right? She looks like really flustered. Her cheeks are all flushed and everything. And she's just like, oh my God, this tornado, it's so much is happening, right? And it is reminding me of that strength card, right? Where it has her with the, did I put it up? I guess I did. It has her, like with the lion beside her. Here it is. Taming the tornado, right? It doesn't feel like like it's right there, like the storm is bubbling over, like it's right there on the surface. It's this energy of, it's manageable, right? It's something that is in the background that's a lot more manageable. But I'm feeling this energy of like it bubbling up to the surface, some kind of opportunity here, and it's almost given me like how your choices and how you choose to handle this, the words you choose to use, if you choose to like have that like self-love kind of energy and show up and really like be like, okay, so I know I'm not feeling too well. You know what? Let me take that nice calming bath. Let me do that thing that let me go work out. Let me go pour out. Let me go make a piece of art. Let me go just give a day to myself to go do this. And maybe I, do a facial, or maybe I do a full body scrub. Maybe I smoke cleanse out my house or clean my house really well, and it's kind of this energy of, okay, like give to yourself, show up, be like, okay, I'm going to eat like a really like a good healthy meal that is also really tasty, that makes me feel really good. I feel really nourished. Let me drink a bunch of water. Let me cleanse out this energy. Let me show up for myself, right? Because there is something here about like you're dealing with an energy of neglect, that kind of like energy of neglect. Don't allow that resentment or that anger or that kind of any kind of like depressive energy. Again, I can't diagnose you. Go talk to a professional if you need to, right? I'm not a doctor. I can't diagnose you. I'm not a psychologist or psychiatrist, whatever. I can't diagnose you for that stuff. So just do what you need to do. If you need to schedule, maybe start scheduling regular therapy, maybe schedule, an extra meeting and be like, I'm dealing with this anger, or I'm dealing with this, this feelings coming up here, but use your tools that you've learned, and bring yourself a better outcome by choosing to step up and not neglecting yourself, right? So if you're feeling this energy of neglect, or this feeling of abandonment, what you need to do, you need to show up for yourself. You need to be like, okay, so I don't have it coming from the outside. It's going to come from me though. So I'm going to show up, and I'm going to, get that extra hour of sleep, or I'm going to carve out that time to read that book, or I'm going to carve out that time to sit and take a nice, saltwater bath that's going to cleanse my energy. I'm going to show up for myself and buy myself something nicer, buy myself a nice dinner, or I'm going to show up for myself and, go get my hair done or go get my nails done. I'm going to go to the gym. It feels like multiple things, you know, like I know that I need to work it out in some kind of physical way. And then I need to work it out in some kind of, you know, emotional way. And then I need to work it out in some kind of spiritual way. So kind of just like come at it and be like released in a really healthy way, right? Like fortify yourself with those healthy patterns right now is what spirit is reminding you, instead of falling back into old patterns of, well, I used to like, you know, push it down and not talk about it. And then I would lash out and get mad at somebody, or then I would run to some kind of old addiction, or I would run to eating a bunch of like heavy, like sugary foods that give me that quick, like happy sensation, or I'd overeat, or I'd undereat, or I'd whatever it was, whatever the healthy, codependent energy that you're working your way out of. Spirit's reminding you, don't fall back on those things. Fall into the more healthy habits. Like when you're feeling stressed, lean into the healthy tools that you've learned. Don't fall back on the old things. Lean into the healthy new tools that you've learned, how to emotionally regulate yourself. Remind yourself of that. You know, so do your meditations, do your yogas, do your workout, show up, drink even more water than maybe usual, up your, you know, your vegetable or your content, whatever, you know, like really be, you know, doing that, going the little extra step to really show up for yourself and show yourself, you know, if I'm having a bad day, I'm going to show up for myself in a good, healthy way that I'm not going to feel guilty about tomorrow. You know, instead of feeling like, oh, I just feel so guilty, I'm going to, you know, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to eat a whole pizza, or I'm going to, you know, eat like a whole bunch of ice cream or something. It might feel good in this moment, you know, but a day or two from now, my stomach's going to hurt and it's going to get my digestive tract all messed up, you know, so it's like, you know what, let me show up for myself in a good, healthy way. Let me do those healthy emotional coping skills that I have. Let me fall back on those and make those the habit, make those the standard, not my old standard, my new standard. Right? The hangman, exactly. You're being put in this situation right now because it's an opportunity to say, okay, you know what? I'm going to actually invest in myself in a healthy, I'm going to invest in the healthy foundation. I'm trying to build a new healthy, more emotional boundaries. Okay, this is that time to step up and go, no. This is that time to say yes to yourself in a good, healthy way. You know, when you're sitting at the store and you're just like, I've had a shit day. Do I want to eat the salad or do I want to eat pizza? You know what? I might really want the pizza right now, but the salad would actually make me feel better, or would make me feel like good and healthy, like I was making good choices for myself. I'm going to drink that water. I'm going to choose to walk up the stairs. I'm going to choose to, I feel kind of lazy, but I feel kind of lazy and down. You know what? I'm going to get up and I'm going to go to the gym. You know what? I'm not going to skip that walk. You know what? I'm not going to skip. I know that I have counseling on Wednesday. I'm not going to skip it. Like, because I was just been feeling like I don't want to do it. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to do it. You know what? No, because I know that if I do it, I will feel better afterwards. So I'm going to fall back in those healthy habits. Put it into work. King of Pentacles, exactly. And the Death card. Exactly. You are in a moment right now to close out the past cycle, to not fall back in to the past cycle, but to fall into the new, right? When the going gets tough, you're not, when the pressure is turned up, you're not falling back on those old habits. You're not feeling super down and giving a phone call to your ex or something like that, right? You're not you saying, you know what, I'm going to go out with my friends, I'm going to get totally sloshed and end up texting your ex drunkenly or something like that. And they're just like, what am I doing? Like, right? What am I doing? I should have just stayed my ass at home. I should have just gone to the gym. I should have just went to that dance class. I should have just sat at home and ate some salad and drank, maybe drank a glass or two of wine, watched a funny movie, laughed, cried if I need to, had a nice long bath, went to bed early, got up feeling rested. Like, I'd feel so much better if I had just done that, instead of being like, I'm so upset, I'm just going to go out and go party and get drunk and, moderation. Spirit is saying moderation. You're walking this new path, so walk it. Walk this new path. And it requires You know, it's easy to make those choices, right? Oh my God, that's so funny. And then look, he's sitting there with a cake, a whole ass cake in a wine glass in his hand. And he came out with the death card, right? So Spirit is saying, make those healthier choices. That's crazy. Make those healthier choices for yourself. Because it's giving me with this like this masculine energy coming up here. It's giving me this kind of energy of like your feminine energy is feeling very kind of like vulnerable or is feeling very attacked. So you have this masculine side of yourself that's coming out in a kind of a overprotective or like maybe even kind of like in a shadow energy of like, what did you say? The fuck did you do? What do you mean? What did you say to her? You made her cry? I got something for your ass right now. Somebody hold my beer. You know what? You know, and it's that kind of energy, and Spirit's like, no, remember, we don't do that. We're not doing that anymore. You know, we're rebelling now. We're going to church now, or we're being spiritual now. No. Remember, instead of doing that, we go and meditate. We go light a candle. We go, you know, write it out. We go do some art. We go to the gym. We go take a walk. We have healthier coping mechanisms now. Remember. That's right. You're right. You're right, Spirit. Let's make the better decision. You know what? You're lucky I'm not going to whip your ass today. I'm going to stay in my happiness and in my blissful energy. You know, if I need to say something, I'm going to say it in a calm, respectful, yet with boundaries sort of type way. Or maybe I won't say shit and I'm just going to let my actions speak for themselves. I'm not getting triggered by your bullshit. I'm just going to distance myself from you, or I'm going to walk away, or no, you're not worth it, you know? So I don't know if this is somebody that might come up to you and try to trigger you at work or something like that. You know, they're smarting off at you. They're being passive aggressive toward you. And you're like, you know what? The enemy do be trying to use little petty people like you to say shit to try to pull me out of my happy mood. But it's not going to work. I don't got a problem. I'm just, you know, you're miserable, I guess. I don't know. Whatever you got to say, you know, whatever you got to say to yourself, just be like, you know what? They're going through something. They're doing whatever. Transmute the energy. Choose those better coping mechanisms. You know, stand your ground, but be careful because that kind of, you know, ooh, you try to test me. Fall back on your tools of emotional regulation, right? You've learned these lessons. Put them to work. Put them to work. Show up for yourself. Show up for yourself in a healthy way. That way you don't have any kind of, you know, you've been putting in that work. Now is a time to really show up, to allow the work to show up, right? And yeah, sometimes it's going to be easy to allow the work to show up, and sometimes you're going to have to fight tooth and nail to be like, you know what? I'm going to choose better for myself. You know what? I feel those depressive tendencies coming on. Hell no. I'm going to get up. I'm going to take a bath. I'm going to go for a walk. No, I'm going to drink my water. I'm going to start taking my vitamins. No, I've let myself slip off a little bit, and those kind of like lower energies are kind of like making me feel like I want to slip back into my old habits. No, I won't do that. You know, like, no, I'm going to show up for myself. And it's because, oh yeah, this is a soul contract. Baby, it's a 9 of Wands. It's a lesson. It's a soul contracted lesson, my love, okay? All right? Just because we go through this and we learn these lessons doesn't mean that life is not going to bring up moments that are going to test us, right? And it's not to be like, oh, let me test you. Let me add something else to your plate. No. It's just a simple fact that life's going to life. Not everybody's going to be happy. Not everybody's going to be happy-go-lucky. Not everybody's going to be having a good day. You're not always going to be having a good day. People are going to people, right? Life's going to have its ups and downs. And you're going to need to know how to emotionally regulate yourself despite what anybody else might be going through, despite what your environment might look like, despite what your financial or your emotional situation might look like. You are going to have to learn how to emotionally regulate yourself, right? And if you feel like you don't have the tools that you need, then seek the help that you need to get. There's lots of free places out there to learn how to emotionally regulate yourself. A place I know that's free, that has a lot of free resources, is Crappy Childhood Fairy here on YouTube. She has like, she not only does she give classes and stuff, but then she also has free workshops. She has free worksheets to download to help yourself through a lot of issues. They do talk about some triggering. She has like a write-in part of it where she uses a story and breaks down that story and helps people transmute and helps people kind of really think about it. Now, she is not a very big spiritual person, and she's not a very big she's not a really big like soulmate or twin flame person. She in fact doesn't believe in that stuff. She thinks it's very emotionally, but on the psychological side of it, she has a lot, especially she focuses on CTPSD, so complex post-traumatic stress disorder, which a lot of people have from their childhood. So if you're suffering through things like that, if you're suffering through trying to emotionally regulate yourself through some kind of traumatic event, she is a free resource that's out there. You might vibe with her, you might not. Try it out. She's just one that's really helped me a lot, and I know that she has free resources out there, that she has free recommendations to books and things like that she reads. So the help is out there, whether it be a free resource from a professional. There are other professionals out there, licensed therapists and things. Go out there and do the work for yourself, right? Do the groundwork for yourself. I know it can feel, when you're already feeling very emotionally overstimulated and you're already feeling like I'm at my emotional limit, it can feel like a lot for spirit to say this is a learning opportunity, and you're like, oh great, so I have to learn a lesson on top of all this other shit. But it is a situation where you are learning to help yourself. You are learning a skill that is going to continue to give back to you on a daily basis for the rest of your life. And yes, it is something you're going to have to do, And so please understand, I am there often where I'm just like, another thing. But it is so important to learn how to show up for yourself, right? Don't detach from yourself. Don't run away from your body, right? Me and one of my really good friends were talking about that the other day, about how so many of us are not very happy with our lives, or we're not very happy with our work lives or our careers or what we do for a living or how we spend the majority of our day, and that we feel like we need to have those decompression energy, right? And I was talking to her about how I was speaking to, having this whole conversation with my spirit guides, having this whole meditation with them about how it's important to maximize those times where it's important to learn how to emotionally regulate yourself and heal yourself, so you feel like in those moments you don't want to numb yourself. If you feel like, I want to detach, I don't want to think, I have a busy work day all day, and then I just want to come home and scroll and detach and not think about it, that the more healthier thing actually to do is to actually step more into your body, right? Is not to detach from your body and let go of your body and turn off your brain. It's actually to step into emotionally regulating yourself, right? And you can get into the habit of being like, I just want to turn my brain off. I just don't want to think. I just don't want to have to feel. I just don't want to have to do that because I feel so overstimulated. But the real actual thing to do is to step into it, right? Is to step into your body, to find out where the stress is being held in your body and do something to transmute that out of your body, showing up for your body, showing up for yourself, making that time for yourself, because it's a much better use of your time than just scrolling on Pinterest or scrolling on TikTok or scrolling through social media, right? To actually put that stuff to the side, turn your phone off, maybe even, and meditate for 30 minutes instead of scrolling on TikTok, right? To actually step into sitting down and having a conversation with your friends and your family, to actually sitting down and cooking a nice meal and paying attention to what you're cooking and what you're doing, right? To going on a walk and turning off your headphones and just breathing the air and listening to the sounds around you, right? To actually tune into the moment instead of trying to detach from it is what's going to actually help better emotionally regulate you than being like, I just want to zone out. right? Zoning in and focusing in and letting go of all the chatter, right? Because when you just emotionally detach from the chatter, it doesn't get rid of the chatter. It's still just there. You're just not you're just emotionally detaching from it. And then as soon as you go to sleep or as soon as you wake up the next day, you zone right back into that emotional chatter. So instead of transmuting it and getting rid of it and getting rid of those feelings, they build up, they build up, they build up, they build up, they build up until it's like a powder keg, you know? So when you are emotionally detaching and just being like, I just need to just not have any emotion and not have anything, that it actually is not as healthy for you. It actually weighs you down. Ten of Swords. It actually weighs you down a lot more than numbing out. Or, yeah, that numbing out weighs you down a lot more than actually focusing in and truly doing something that helps you to um, truly clear out the chatter. My goodness. Yeah, exactly. Right? Do something playful. Do something that lifts your spirits. Do something. Maybe even some of you take your shoes off and go sit in your backyard, you know? Go sit in your backyard, have a nice glass of tea or something like that. Maybe trade out something, you know, have a nice glass of lemonade or something, I don't know, you know, and sit in your yard and meditate, or maybe do some, you know, do some art or do something playful, right? Because you're kind of detaching from this energy. Like spirit's trying to get you to detach from this. You're not letting it go, right? With this world card in reverse. See how the, like, here in the upright, she's kind of just being free and allowing and going with the flow and allowing it to happen, right? Detaching and letting go. And really, you're not really doing that. You're not allowing the cycle to truly close and truly end. So spirit is saying you need to do something a little bit more playful. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. Like, it's time to tune in instead of zoning out. Instead of zoning out and numbing, because it only feels good to numb and detach yourself from your body, because you know that underneath the numbing that you just don't want to feel. You don't want to have to really deal with the emotions or or maybe it's because you don't know how, right? What are my tools? What are my tools to emotionally regulate myself? You know, maybe for some of you, yeah, exactly. For some of you, it's time to light a fire underneath you to say, you know what? Instead of just telling myself I don't have anything, I don't know how to do this. This just is the way that I am. This is the same old that this is how I've always dealt with it. It's time to really self reflect and say, okay, so the way that I've always dealt with it is not working, right? Obviously, it's not working. I'm not as healthy as I could be, or I'm not as tuned in as I could be. I'm zoning out and checking out and, detaching from my life because it feels painful to be in my life, because it feels painful to be in my body, because I have all these painful emotions rolling around in my body. So for some of you, especially if you have a lot of anger, if you have something, you could be feeling very lifted out of your body, like spiritually. You could feel very like, oh, I don't want to be in this body because it's feeling a lot of anger, or it's feeling a lot of resentment, or it's feeling a lot of pain or a lot of wounding right now. So spirit is saying, so instead of falling back on your old ways of maybe zoning out, maybe, having some kind of substances to help you zone out, or whether or not it be spending, or whether or not it be being, going out and having a good night and going home with a stranger, or whether it be, stirring up drama, whatever your past version of yourself, your more ego driven version of yourself is kind of rearing its ugly head and being like, I know what'll make us feel better. And spirit is saying it's your job to really step up and go, no. Remember, we did that for so and so years and it did not make us feel better. So how about we don't do that? How about we go for a walk instead? How about we write a letter instead? How about You know, how about we do something more productive with our time instead of ruminating or having all this resentment? How about we transmute this energy off of us and we can actually feel better instead of feeling like we have to numb ourselves to feel better, right? Because then you get codependent on having to numb yourself over and over and over and over. Or you can feel the pain, go through it, and then release it and let it go. And it becomes one less thing on your to-do list, right? Handling what's on your plate, handling yourself emotionally, showing up for yourself, doing what's healthier and what's more emotionally stable for yourself. Investing that time and that energy in yourself, into healing yourself, into this type of healing yourself. That's what you're being guided to do right now. And you're being guided to like be very conscious about the choices that you're making, walking, right? Because if you're constantly numbing yourself, you're like you're zoning out and you're allowing your more like egotistical self to have a space to come in and get in the driver's seat, right? To be subconsciously driven by your wounding instead of being consciously driven towards healing, right? And then you won't feel, it will actually feel uncomfortable detached from your body because you'll want to be in your body. You'll want to be in this space. So, yeah, Nine of Cups. Then you'll feel this feeling of relief. Then you'll feel this feeling of wish fulfillment coming back to you. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So there's something inside of you right now that's triggering this feeling of loss or triggering this feeling of I don't have something, or I'm overly concentrating on something. So it's like, I'm overstimulated. It's too much, you know? Like spirit wants you to step back and look at the bigger picture of like the larger lesson that's playing a role. It's not just about the individual experiences. It's not just about, oh, I have this person that's talking this way to me or making me feel this way. There's a deeper lesson behind it than that for yourself, right? There's a deeper lesson of learning how to use your tools when the going gets rough, right? When the stress of the situation gets high. I rely on my newfound healthier tools. If you don't have those healthier tools, it's time and it's inspiration to start. Now is a good time to say, you know what? It's time that I learned some healthier coping mechanisms. It's time that I learned some healthier ways to emotionally express myself. You know, so this is just like a little check-in. It's like a little, hey, I'm feeling the energy. It's rolling high. You know, it's time to take action. Exactly. It's time to take action because like it's going to be amazing. You're going to feel so much better when you start making those choices. It's like, I know that, again, like instead of rejecting it, step into that energy of like, I know that I need to do better for myself, choose happier for myself, choose better for myself. You know, it's that feeling of accomplishment that you get. I was also talking with my friend about that, where somebody used that they were saying like a word, and somebody that it was in a podcast and they were like, what does that mean? It's like, and that word is a representation of the feeling that you get when you accomplish like a big goal, when you've really been working towards something and you accomplish it and you feel that complex emotion, that complex like mix of emotion of feeling like really happy and feeling relief and feeling gratitude that it's over, but also feeling gratitude that you were able to accomplish that and feeling like this pride energy within yourself. And it's like this combination of all these different emotions together, and it had like a singular word that was like this emotional feeling, and I can't remember what he said it was. It was something like I was like, what is that? But that's the kind of energy that you're in this energy of feeling like I feel this relief. Okay, I did what was better. Who the devil was testing me, or ooh, my shadow was testing me, ooh, the world was testing me, and I chose to do better. I chose to stay up for myself instead of running away. I chose to stand up for myself instead of caving in. I chose to do the healthier thing. There's something here about speaking out. Whoo! Golly. There's a lot of movement in your throat chakra. And it's this transmuting energy of just like, whew, I chose to let go of it, right? I chose to do better for myself. And it's this kind of like pride, it's kind of like prideful energy of like, whoo, have confidence, right? That confidence is key to success. No. Feel confident because you know that you have the skills. Take a second, breathe, emotionally regulate yourself, work through your counting to 10 or working through your steps, and then saying, okay, what do we do? Break it down for yourself. Okay, what do we do when we're feeling emotionally deregulated? We do this, we do this, we follow our steps. Remember, this is what you do. Remember, you put that thing in your place. Remember, this is how the more healthy version of us handles situations like this. And so that's what Spirit wants to remind you. Remind you to step into the more healthy version of yourself in the way that this version of yourself handles these emotional, stressful moments, right? Oh, I just keep processing so much. Ooh, excuse me, so much energy through my throat chakra. Wow. Yeah, nothing is yet set in stone. So, like, it feels like, it almost feels like you can feel it. Like, you can feel, like, this buildup or this blow up or this, like, I'm going to lose my shit. I just know it. Okay. So, if you're having that moment of being like, I'm going to lose it, do something to step in and say, nope, we're not going to lose it. What we're going to do is we're going to transmute it. What we're going to do is instead of allowing ourselves to get to that 10 moment of like, that's it, I'm blowing my top. Before I get there, you know what? Emotionally check in with myself. Where am I on my scale right now? If I'm at a 9 or a 10, this is critical energy. I need to do something. I need to take a day to myself. I need to take a run. I need to do something. I need to transmute and move around the energy, right? If I'm more at a 5, maybe, okay, later on today I need to do a little something. Maybe I need to journal. Maybe I need to do a little something to get that kind of energy moving around my body, right? And this energy feels like I'm about at an 8 or a 9, right? I'm about at an 8 or a 9. So this is time for you to use your tools. Remember, you've done it. You've walked through the steps. You've learned how to use your tools. Emotionally regulate yourself to come down enough to say, ooh, rational thinking, use your tools. Use your tools, use your tools, right? Bring yourself down more to like a 5, a 6 or a 7. That way you can be like, okay, now that I'm at a 6 or 7, I'm emotionally regulated enough to say something. I'm emotionally regulated enough to put something into action. Let me walk away right now. Let me go run. Let me go do this. Let me go journal about it. Let me write it down. Let me organize my thoughts. Okay, now that I've done that, okay, my gosh, I'm much closer to a 2 or a 3. Okay, now that I'm at a 2 or a 3, maybe now I'm in the zone where I can have a conversation about it, because I'll speak to you calmly and understand that if I start raising back up in my emotional scale, I can remove myself from the situation and say, okay, then, come back to your scale, bring it back to your scale, zone in, tune into your body instead of running away. Tune into how you feel, pay attention to how you feel, because it is this energy of zoning out, neglecting, self-neglect. So I'm just not gonna think about it. That's this original wound to begin with, right? So it's time to zone into yourself. Oh my God, excuse me. I'm so sorry, but I need to get that out. I'm so sorry, y'all. But I feel so much better. There's so much energy just transmuting. Like, I feel like I just went through like 80 different emotions all at the same time, and I was just like, emotional roller coaster ride. So if you're feeling that way, use your tools. Use your tools. Bring yourself back down to like a 6 or a 7, right? Check in emotionally. Right? Where am I on my emotional scale right now? right? Maybe for some of you, that's a tool you need to start implementing, right? Daily checks in. Where am I in my emotional scale right now? How am I feeling right now? Not too good. And if you're not feeling not too good, that's the acknowledgement to come to your subconscious that should trigger, okay, I need to do something in a healthy way to make myself feel better. Let's bring in the regulation, okay? And this is not me, harping on you. This is not me saying, shame on you or anything like that. Absolutely not. Like, we all have those moments, right? We all have the moments like where life gets us down, or we all get frustrated. It happens, especially during Mercury retrograde, especially during the other retrogrades that we're having right now. Communication and all that stuff can be kind of off. People can be kind of spat. We had an emotional retrograde at the same time as we were going through like the full moon cycle and stuff too. So yeah. So this is not to bring up any kind of shame or any kind of like, sage. In fact, it's the opposite, right? It's to bring in understanding and logical thinking into your emotions, right? Into that emotional body of like, okay, I'm feeling like my emotions again. Like I said in that other reading, right? Your emotions are your guide, not your master, right? Let me emotionally, right? I control my emotions, not my emotions controlling me. Right? But in a healthy way, not where I'm just ignoring my emotions or zoning out from my emotions and acting like they don't exist, but I'm facing them and saying, okay, this emotion is helping me right now. This emotion is not helping me right now. How can I flip the emotion that's not helping me right now into an emotion that is going to help me? How can I flip this and change this into something that I can, that I can use in a healthy way? Right? How can I flip this anger or this feeling into a moment where instead of I felt rejected by somebody else, well, fine, I'll show up for myself. I'll be here for myself. And then that outside neglect or that outside lack doesn't feel as strong or doesn't feel like it has as much of an emotional tool because okay, I don't get it from you. That's fine. I can give it to myself. And there might be some kind of anger or some kind of emotional tie to like, damn, why do I have to give it to myself? I feel like the energy that you should be more is like, you should be asking yourself is, why am I continuing to allow myself to be around a person that I have to feel these emotions for? Is it worth it to be around a person that neglects me, that I feel like I have to come in and make up for their wounding that they're trying to cause me? It might be time for you to kind of let a person's attitude or let their actions towards you speak and be a reflection to you of how they really feel, or how they really are, how they're just going to be as a person, And so this is an emotional cue for you to say, if I keep having to heal from the shit you're doing to me, maybe I should remove myself from this situation. Is it a situation where I can't? Can I immediately move this? Is this a friend? Is it a family member? Can I immediately put distance between me and this person? Can I immediately say, no, that's not okay. You're crossing my boundaries. Goodbye. Whether it be permanently or whether it be you just putting some distance and some space and some time in between you and this person, But I would encourage you to ask yourself, if you find yourself having to repeatedly put that distance between you and another person, is it time to say, why do I keep doing this yo back and forth between me and you? Can I let you go? Would my life be more peaceful if I let you go? Or would my life be more peaceful, bring it's just more about asking yourself the questions. Other people might be testing, might be kind of testing or might be feeling their own ish right now, right? And they could be projecting, they could be saying like little comments and doing little things. It's time to draw it into yourself. And instead of blaming yourself, check in with yourself and be like, do I like the way this person makes me feel? No. Do I like the way this environment makes me feel? No or yes. Is it the environment? Or is it something I'm dealing with inside? Emotionally check in with yourself instead of numbing yourself. Check in. That's what Spirit wants you, the number one thing that Spirit wants you to do right now is check in. And if you have an uncomfortable emotion that's lingering there, do something to transmute it instead of ignoring it. Because it's going to continue to be there and just press and cause pressure and cause anger or cause resentment or cause whatever. Stop letting it build up and do something about it. Whether that be, oh, I'm actually feeling triggered because this person is an issue. Or, oh, it's actually not this person. It's actually some kind of issue I'm dealing with. Okay, that means I need to go and deal with myself. I need to go and deal with whatever's bothering me. I need to take action. I need to show up for myself in whatever way I need to show up for myself. All right. Thank you guys so very much for being here with me today. As always, I appreciate you guys. I hope this gave you the love, light, and clarity that you were looking for in your situation, okay? Comment down below, like, share, subscribe to the YouTube thing. Let me know how you're feeling about this reading or about the subject we talked about here. Is it helpful? Is it not? You know, is it your reading? It might not be. That's cool. If you're feeling super emotionally regulated right now and this is not your reading, that's cool. You know, that's perfectly fine. This is for people who might be struggling with that a little bit more. I feel you. There's space for you here, you know, and we're here working it out together, okay? So thank you to your angel spirits, guardians, ancestors, masters, and guides for guiding you here to get this information, okay? Thank you to my angel spirits, masters, guardians, ancestors, and guides for guiding me through delivering this message as well as keeping me safe as always while they did so. I appreciate you guys. As always, thank you so very, very much. If you feel guided to receive any of the personal a personal tarot reading from me. Sorry, personal tarot reading from me, or to participate in any of the services that I offer. My contact information is down below. Thank you guys so very, very much for being here, and I will see you lovelies the next one. Okay, not me messing up my outro again. I'll see you lovelies later. Bye.